Hello everyone, and welcome to this new vocabulary lesson. In this opportunity, we are going to work on use of English 2 from our book. And for that, you're going to need pages 84 and 62 that you see on the screen right now. Both these pages are from Unit 6. And in this opportunity, we're going to concentrate on the concept of lies. So let's see. The first thing that we're going to see is the word lie in detail. And there are a few things I need to say about this word. The first thing is that when the word lie is a noun, there's no problem. There's nothing that brings us conflict in this case. But when the word lie is a verb, it comes with a warning. Let's see why. The first meaning that comes to our minds is that lie is to say or write something that is not true in order to deceive someone. In this case, when the word lie has this meaning, we have to pay attention to the verb form. So when it's in the continuous form, the verb is lying, but there's a slight change in spelling. So you need to be careful. It's L-Y-I-N-G. And then the past tense and the past participle, that is the third column, is lied. It's a regular verb. So it's L-I-E-D. So far, so good. However, when the word lie means to be in or move into a horizontal position on a surface. So for example, you can say, I'm so tired, I'm going to lie down for a bit. The continuous form is the same, lying with ly and then ing, but the past tense and the past participle forms change. So the past tense is lay, L-A-Y, and the past participle is lain, L-A-I-N. So when lie means not tell the truth, it's a regular verb, and when lie means move into a horizontal position, it's an irregular verb, and we have two different forms for the past tense and past participle. So be careful with that. And there we have a picture of a chicken lying down. And why is this picture relevant? Because the past tense of the verb lie, when it means to be in a horizontal position, that is the word lay, can also have another meaning. Lay something. And to lay something is to put something in a flat or horizontal position for a particular purpose. For example, I'm going to go now and lay the table, which means put all the different plates and glasses and cutlery on the table so that people can eat. Or we can also say that chickens lay eggs. And so in this case, the continuous form is laying, L-A-Y-I-N-G, and then this verb, the verb lay, is irregular, and the past tense and past participle forms are laid, L-A-I-D. So be careful with the difference between the verb lie and its two meanings, and then the verb lay, and the difference between lay as a past tense for the word lie and lay as a verb on its own with its own meaning and its own forms. All right? So this is the first thing that I wanted to explain as regards the word lie. Now we're going to concentrate on the vocabulary that we need for the activities we're going to develop in this video lesson. So first of all, I have included here all the words that are connected to the word lie that appear in the activities. And so we have the words deceive, impersonate, cheat, honest, mock, betray, bluff, fake, pretend, forge, hoax, prank, phony, scam, concealed, legitimate, candid, fib, mythical, disguise, make-believe, avowed, authentic, fraud, gag, fabrication, fictitious, and falsehood. Many words, a lot of words. They are all mixed up and they are not in order, and so this may seem like a lot. So what we're going to do now is to divide these words into two categories. One category is new words. So from this list, we're going to move to the left those words that I think could be new to you. And then we're going to move to the right all those words that I believe may be familiar to you. Maybe if you read them or if you find them in a text, you will understand what they mean. So we're not going to concentrate on those. We're going to concentrate only on the words that will appear on the left. So let's see if I'm right. Then you can tell me if you agree with me. The word deceive. I think that you know the word deceive. So I will move it to the right. I also think that you know what the word impersonate means. So I'm going to move it to the right. Cheat. Also to the right. Same happens to the word honest and to the word mock. You may know the word mock from mock exam, which means that it's not a real exam. It's as if it were the real thing. Then we have the word betray. I'm going to move it to the left. Same for the word bluff. I think the word fake is a word that you already know. Something is fake is false, not real. Pretend. Pretend, mock, and deceive are pretty similar. I'm going to move the word forge to the left. The word hoax to the left too. The same with the word prank, phony, scam, concealed. Legitimate, I will move it to the right because it's very similar to Spanish and I think that you know what it means. I'm going to move candid to the left, same with fib, but I'm going to put mythical on the right. It comes from myth, and I think that you already know this from history. Disguise to the left, same with make-believe, even though I kind of think you know what make-believe is, but just in case I'll move it to the left. I'll move to the left above bored. I'll move authentic to the right. Legitimate, unauthentic being very similar. I'm going to move fraud to the right as well, because it's very similar to its equivalent in Spanish. I'm going to move gag to the left. Fabrication to the right. Fabrication is very similar to Spanish. Fictitious, as in fiction, right? But fictitious is the adjective. I'm going to move it to the right. And finally, I'll move falsehood to the left. So in this video lesson in particular, we're going to concentrate on the words betray, forge, hoax, prank, bluff, phony, scam, concealed, candid, fib, disguise, gag, make-believe, falsehood, and above board. So let's continue. First, we're going to look at the verbs from the list on the left. And we have three verbs. We have betray, forge, and disguise. To betray is to be disloyal to someone who trusts you so that they are harmed or upset. And here's a picture that may show or represent what betray means. Then we have the word forge. To forge is to make an illegal copy of something in order to deceive. This could be an illegal copy of a work of art, an illegal copy of someone's signature. This happens a lot at school. It could be an illegal copy of dollar bills, and this is what we have in the picture. We have two $10 bills. One is a fake, one is forged, and the other one is authentic, to use the vocabulary in the unit. And then we have the word disguise. To disguise is to hide an opinion, a feeling, etc. Or to disguise can also mean to wear a costume. And this picture, in this case, shows that you're disguising a feeling. So you're feeling sad, but you put on a brave face, a happy face, and so you're disguising your actual feeling. So these are the verbs: betray, forge, and disguise. Now, let's move on to the nouns that we have from the list on the left. We're going to start with scam, fib, gag, and bluff. All of these four can also be verbs, but in this unit they appear as nouns, so I'm just going to concentrate on the nouns. And you will see that some of these are very similar. So we have the word scam. You may have heard this one before. Scam means an illegal plan for making money, especially one that involves tricking people. And this is something that is pretty common here in our country, Argentina, to have these kinds of scams, especially targeted at elderly people. And there we have a picture that may show what a scam is. So on the left, you see the person that is being scammed, and then the scammer on the right. A fib is a small lie that does not cause any harm. And we may say that a fib is a white lie. So, for example, when someone tells you, "Hey, how are you?" and say, "I'm fine." Maybe you're not really fine, but what's the sense in telling the person, "Oh, I'm not fine, I'm so depressed"? You tell a fib, right? And you say, "I'm fine," as an automatic response, when maybe, and I think that this is the truth, most of the time we're not fine. Then we have the word gag. A gag is a joke or a funny story, especially one told by a comedian, if it's a story, right? This could be a picture of a gag. So you give this mug as a present to someone, and this is obviously not a real present, it's a gag. It's meant to be a joke. And then we have the word bluff. A bluff is an attempt to trick someone. A bluff involves a lie. So when you bluff, you lie. You say something that is not true, but in order to trick someone. And this is typical in card games. For example, in poker, you have a very bad hand of cards, and you bet all your money, making other players believe that your hand is really good. And so that's your bluff. If they quit, if they abandon, you did well. But then if not, well, they call your bluff and you're in trouble. You lose your money. So this is just an example. So we have the nouns scam, fib, gag, and bluff, and they can also be verbs, but we're going to concentrate on the nouns now. Then we have these other four nouns, which may be a little bit more complex. That's why you will see the definition and some examples to clarify. We have falsehood, prank, make-believe, and hoax. Falsehood, something that is not true, a lie. And the example is, she doesn't seem to understand the difference between truth and falsehood. Why is the example here? Because you cannot say, "Oh, what you're telling me is falsehood." That doesn't sound right. You should say, what you're telling me is a lie. So the use is different. Falsehood is more like a concept. So you say truth versus falsehood. That's the context in which you will see this word. Then we have the word prank, and you will think that the word prank and the word gag are quite similar. A prank is a trick that is intended to be funny, but not to cause harm or damage. However, when you play a prank on someone, you may cause damage, so you need to be careful. When I was at school, we were always playing pranks on our teachers. For example, I don't know, hiding the books or writing something on the board before they came. So that's a prank. And it's very frequent to find the word prank associated to school. Then we have the word make-believe. It's a complex word. Believing or imagining things that appear to be attractive or exciting, but are not real. So this is kind of similar to daydreaming in a way. And make-believe is very well seen in children's play. For example, when a little girl pretends to be a pirate or a princess or something. And so they really imagine that they are that person, but they're not really. And this is an example. The ideal of a perfectly fair society is just make-believe. And then we have the word hoax, which is a plan to deceive someone. So hoax and scam, for example, are very, very similar. The bomb threat turned out to be a hoax. So it was not true. This plan was not true. And I'm going to show you now some pictures to show you these. So falsehood, prank, make-believe, and a hoax. All right? And finally, from the list on the left, we're going to finish by explaining 4 adjectives: concealed, candid, above board, and phony. Concealed means kept hidden or where it cannot easily be seen. For example, the robbery had been recorded on a concealed security camera. So that means that the security camera was not visible. You could not see that the camera was there. Or he was carrying a concealed weapon. And you have a picture of that over here. This woman is carrying a concealed gun in this case. Then we have the word candid. The word candid is, together with above board, these are possibly the only 2 words that are connected to the truth in all this vocabulary connected to lies. Candid means honest and telling the truth, especially about something difficult or painful. So, for example, to be candid with you, I think you're making a dreadful mistake. And then we have this picture of, I'm only saying what you're thinking. You can also have a candid discussion with someone about a difficult topic. And that's another example. Then the word above board, done in an honest way, according to the rules of law. The process was completely fair and above board. So this means basically legal, right? And finally the word phony, it's not connected to phones. Phony is not sincere or not real. Phony and fake are very similar. But you probably know the word fake, but you did not know the word phony. All salespeople seem to have the same phony smile. You can also say the same fake smile. He gave the police a phony address. And you can also say he gave the police a fake address. And this is a picture of a phony smile in a way. Let's see if you could get the general idea or the meanings of these words, because then they will appear on the page in the activities that you will do. So let's check meaning. Match each image to a word from their vocabulary. So we're going to do this together. Fib. Which of these images, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, do you think represents fib? Yeah, that's right. It's number 2. Remember that the fib is a lie, a white lie. What about a gag? Remember gag? Gag was a joke intended to be funny. Yeah, it's number 6. Very good. What about forge? Forge is a copy, an illegal copy of something. Yeah, I don't think that this person's mother's signature is like that. So it's a forged signature. Then we have a scam. A scam meant to deceive someone, in general to get money, but could also be for other purposes. Yeah, it's number 3. You're right. What about disguise? Disguise your feelings. You can disguise your appearance as well. Exactly, it's number 4. And so we are left with number 1. How could you turn on me so quickly? Betray. The robot has betrayed Mr. Burns. And so instead of helping him, now it's trying to kill him. Okay. Let's see these. We have hoax, prank, make-believe, concealed, and phony. What about hoax? Which of these could be a hoax? Remember that hoax and scam are similar. Yes, that's right. It's number 11. Very good. What about a prank? Prank and gag being quite similar. Yes, it's number 10. Someone is playing pranks on people on the street by pretending to be a snowman moving, right? Pretty funny. Make-believe? Yeah, that's right. It's number 7. This person pretending to be in outer space, but that's just make-believe, it's not real. What about concealed? We're between 9 and 8, so I think it's pretty clear that it's number 8. I don't know if you know the computer game Assassin's Creed, but the main character in the game has concealed blades on both hands. And you can see the concealed blade coming out there. And finally, phony. We see a phony smile. not authentic. And that's right. Very good. Now, the last activity that we're going to do as regards these words, just to check that you understood these words. We have 5 sentences, and the idea is that you match the words forge, fib, prank, fictitious, and candid to any of these 5 sentences. So we're going to do this together again. So, the students played a on the teacher by hiding all her books. Which one could it be? Exactly, it's prank. Very good. We had a really discussion about how we felt about the proposal. Yes, it's candid, a candid discussion. Let's see 3. A friend of mine at school used to his mum's signature on sick notes to get out of sports lessons. Have you ever done this? Yeah, it's to forge a signature. 4. I told a small about where I'd been so I didn't get into trouble. I'm sure you've done this too. I have done it. A small fib, that's right. And so finally, the criminal gave a completely fictitious, you can also say fake, account of where he'd been at the time of the robbery. All right, so that's all as regards the presentation of this vocabulary. So, vocabulary presentation has been completed. That's step 1. And now we're going to move on to step 2, which is the different activities from pages 84 and 62. So, let's go. So now that we are on the page, we're going to skip activity 1 because I left that question on the group in our classroom, so we're not going to devote time to doing that. We're going to move on directly to this activity 2, which is a listening activity. You're going to listen to a girl talking about playing board games. Have you ever played a board game with someone like this? Let's see.
I must have been a nightmare to play against when I was a kid. We often played Monopoly as a family and I loved it. And the reason I loved it was because I loved winning. And the reason I won was, yeah, you guessed it, I cheated. I never really considered the ethical aspect to it or that I was in any way deceiving people on purpose, but I guess I was. It was my granddad who first let me in on the secrets of how to cheat successfully at card games. The most important thing being not to let your face betray you. From then on, there was no stopping me. In Monopoly, I always liked to be the banker. Easy to secrete money when no one was looking, and I developed a real skill at sleight of hand. Then, when I was older, I progressed to cheating at Trivial Pursuit. My mum was amazed at how much I knew. I pretended to think carefully for a moment before answering, but in reality, I was reading the answers upside down on the back of the question cards she was holding. And now, well, better not to ask.
Okay, so what is this girl talking about, basically? Yeah, she's a big cheater in games, in board games. Have you ever played a board game with someone like this? I'm sure you have. I have, yeah, definitely, especially in my family. Let's move on to the next activity. You'll need to listen again and complete these sentences. Then write example sentences for the verbs. Try to show how they differ in meaning and use. You will not have to hand in this in particular, but I highly recommend that you do the activity. So we've got these 4 sentences, and the idea is that you listen and complete. Let's see.
I must have been a nightmare to play against when I was a kid. We often played Monopoly as a family and I loved it. And the reason I loved it was because I loved winning. And the reason I won was, yeah, you guessed it, I cheated. I never really considered the ethical aspect to it or that I was in any way deceiving people on purpose, but I guess I was. It was my granddad who first let me in on the secrets of how to cheat successfully at card games. The most important thing being not to let your face betray you. From then on, there was no stopping me. In Monopoly, I always liked to be the banker. Easy to secrete money when no one was looking, and I developed a real skill at sleight of hand. Then, when I was older, I progressed to cheating at Trivial Pursuit. My mum was amazed at how much I knew. I pretended to think carefully for a moment before answering, but in reality, I was reading the answers upside down on the back of the question cards she was holding. And now, well, better not to ask.
Okay, so I hope you got all your answers. Let's see. I never really considered that I was deceiving people on purpose. Okay. Let's see. 2. My granddad let me in on the secrets of how to cheat successfully. What a granddad. 3. The most important thing being not to let your face betray you. Yeah, your face saying one thing and you wanting to do something else. And 4, I pretended to think carefully. So all these were the words connected to lying that appeared in this listening activity. Let's move on. Exercise 4. It says add the words in bold in the sentences 1 to 5 to the list A to E. Then work in pairs and discuss the differences in meaning and or use between the words. Of course, you're not going to do this discussion part, but I would like to see these A, B, C, D, and E categories and groupings, and then see what we can find in common between these words. So first we have A, lie, bluff, falsehood. Which word could go there? They're all nouns, so yes, fib. All of these, of course, are lies. Okay. Then we have B, disguise, impersonate, fake. Which one could it be? Right, forge. Very good. Then we have make-believe, mythical, mock, fictitious. Now, what's the difference between B and C? Well, B could definitely be connected to something criminal, something that is not legal. However, C, something that is make-believe or mythical or mock or fictitious, does not necessarily mean that it's wrong or it's illegal, right? So that's the difference between B and C. D, hoax, scam, fraud, and prank. A hoax and a scam being very similar, fraud is a crime, and then prank being like some kind of very heavy joke. And finally we have positive words, honest, authentic, above board, and candid. So that's the way we group these words. I hope that this grouping helps understand the words better. Let's continue. Now we go to activity 5. It says read the article, what do recent tests show? So this is the article we are talking about. The idea is that you take a minute and give a quick reading. So you should pause now. And when you press play again, I'm going to show you the main idea of the article and see if you agree with me. So, lying can be a sign of creativity. This is the main summary of the article. When we lie, we're being creative, really. So is it such a bad thing? It's a bit controversial, I would say. Now, activity 6 is the multiple choice task. I will ask you to do that at the end of this video lesson, and you will do that by completing a Google Forms that I'm showing you now. You can access the Google Forms in the assignment, and you've got the link there. I'm going to paste the link here too, but please do this at the end because you will have 2 multiple choice tasks together in the Google Forms. All right? Then the last activity, which is exercise 7, the speak up activity, is meant for you to think about that question and then write it down and upload it in a Word document together with 2 additional questions that I'm asking. So we're not going to do that now. We're going to move on to page 62. This page. Let's see activity 1. It says click on the odd word out in each group. So we have, again, categories of words grouped together, but now instead of adding a word to this list, we're going to eliminate one that is different from the others on the list. So we have impersonate, mock, fake, and forge. Which one should we cross out? What do you think? It's mock, because as we said before, to impersonate, fake, and forge could be connected to crimes, but mock is not a crime. In fact, a mock test or a mock trial could be something positive, something that is meant to be practice. So that's why mock is the one that does not belong on the list. What about 2? Hoax, scam, above board, and fraud. I think it's pretty clear that it's above board. Yeah, above board is the positive word in the group. It's the one connected to honesty, where hoax, scam, and fraud are all connected to lies. What about 3? Authentic, falsehood, lie, and bluff. Once again, authentic is the one that is connected to something positive, something true, and falsehood, lie, and bluff are, of course, words connected to lies. Category 4, make-believe, candid, mythical, and fictitious. Which one should we cross out? Yeah, candid. Make-believe, mythical, and fictitious are connected to things that are not real. It doesn't mean that they are lies, but they're just not real. And candid is something positive and honest, so it does not have much to do with all the others. And then 5, honest, above board, authentic, and disguise. Yeah, disguise is the one that doesn't belong in the category, because to disguise is basically opposite to being honest or authentic or above board, so it's the one that shouldn't be here. Okay, good. Next, activity 2, we have to complete the post with these words. I'm going to read this and you complete with the words, and I'm going to show you which words should go. So, last week, while I was on a trip to the beach resort, I decided to a prank on one of my friends. Which one should go there? Yeah, play a prank on one of my friends by making her that I had met a famous actor. Making her, you need a verb, believe, that's right. The photo was real, but I took it from some distance away, as there were too many security guards around to actually approach him. I hardly ever lie. I'm usually so if you don't lie, you're very honest. And I never at games or anything like that. Cheat, that's right. It was only a little because I was just tired of my friend boasting about what she does at weekends. So it was only a little fib, a white lie. Because I was just tired of my friend boasting about what she does at weekends and me over my supposedly boring life. Mocking, yeah. So when you mock someone, you make fun of that person. I mean, it's only a small lie. It's not like myself as someone else. Disguising, right? As someone else online, or making her fall for a scam. After all, little white lies aren't really lies, are they? Okay, so this is the text with all the answers. For 1 we have play, 2 believe, 3 honest, 4 cheat, 5 fib, 6 mocking, 7 disguising, and 8 scam. Now let's see activity 3. And this is the last activity that we are going to do in this video, because then exercise 4 is also in the Google Forms. So read the sentence pairs and match the words in bold to the meanings A and B. So this is meant to revise some of the vocabulary that we saw at the beginning. His application for extra funding was legitimate. His application for extra funding was authentic. So which one means based on facts and which one means allowed by law? Yes, legitimate is allowed by law and authentic is based on facts. Good. 2. Fran's claim about the accident was phony. Fran's claim about the accident was fictitious. So phony and fictitious, which one means imaginary and which one means fake? Yeah, phony is fake and fictitious is imaginary. Let's see 3. We discovered that Sam had forged the money, and we discovered that Sam had concealed the money. So forged and concealed. Which one is illegally imitated or copied and which one is hidden? Exactly. Forged means illegally imitated or copied and concealed is hidden. Let's see 4. The presenter's gags caused a lot of upset. The presenter's scam caused a lot of upset. So gags and scam. Which one is dishonest scheme to make money? And which one means jokes? Yes, so gags is jokes and scam is dishonest scheme to make money. And let's see finally 5. The threats in the email were just a bluff. Or the threats in the email were just fabrications. Which one is an attempt to deceive someone into thinking that something is going to happen? Or which one is invention or lies? This is more difficult. Let's see. Yes, a bluff is an attempt to deceive someone into thinking that something is going to happen. But fabrication is a bit more serious because it's an invention or a lie. Okay, good. Now it's time for you to move on to the Google Forms and complete the 2 multiple choice activities connected to the same topic, the topic of lies. I'm going to show you the link here once more, just in case. And this is the form that you need to complete. And don't forget to hand in the Word document with your answers to the Speak Up Activity 7 in written form, plus the 2 additional questions that you find in the assignment. So this is all. I hope you're all fine and, well, see you soon.